frequency of abundance feel like, if you were going to put words to it? It would feel like ease. It would feel like freedom to choose, certainly. It would feel like eagerness. It would feel like clarity. It feels like the vibration of abundance feels like fresh air. It feels like clear path. It feels unlimited. It feels always flowing. It feels abundant, meaning never ending, always flowing. It doesn't feel pinched off, and it doesn't feel like jealousy, and it doesn't feel like worry, and it doesn't feel like fear. It feels like fun. It feels like sureness. It feels like certainty. So let's say that you're standing in a what-isness of less abundance than you want. If you can take your attention away from your perceived manifestation of not enough, and you can focus upon something else that feels like fun, or something else that feels unlimited. In other words, you can use subjects other than the subject of money, which may feel like not enough every time you think about it. You can focus upon other things that feel like fun, that feel unlimited, that feel like clarity, that feel like fresh air. You can practice the seed vibration of abundance by staying off the subject if the subject calls something different from you. You see what we're talking about? A while back we said, if you're working on abundance, if abundance is something that is important to you, then take money out of the equation, because there is so much abundance that is abundantly around you that you can tune yourself to the frequency of that. What's something else you want? Usually it falls into a handful of categories. You want money, you want a lover, you want someplace really great to live, you want a body that feels good. So let's say that your intent is for a lover who isn't there. A lover, what does a lover feel like? What does it feel like? What does being in love, what does a lover feel like? What's it feel like?
Exhilarated, high.
Feels happy, feels high, feels
Loving. Appreciation.
pretty damn good. Feels like well-being, feels like homecoming, feels like security, feels like appreciation, feels like being appreciated, feels effortless, feels like ease, feels natural, feels like desire. In other words, if you can get to the general vibrational reason behind what you want, which is why do I want it? The question, why do I want this thing, will bring to you. Then we know you can begin practicing the vibration of the manifestation that is coming. Now here's the thing that we know that often you don't know, that we so want you to know, and that is that everything you've asked for is coming. And the only question is, how long are you going to keep yourself from it? That's the only question. We're just feeling you out a little bit, because do you know how much money is in your vortex? Do you know what a vortex even is? The vortex is a vibrational holding place of all of the desires that you've launched. So, do you sense that we sense? Do you understand that there is abundance, immeasurable, abundance not recognizable by most of you, abundance not yet experienced, let's just put it that way, by most of you, abundance for you, vibrationally queued up, and that all you've got to do, the only thing you've got to do is to practice the vibration of it, and it makes its way to you in so many different life-giving, fun ways. But you've got to practice the vibration of it. And that's what trips humans up. We love you very much. You know what's coming next. But you don't, for the most part, practice the vibration of what's in your vortex. You practice the vibration of what's already manifested. And what's already manifest is a puny comparison to what's available to you. So we've made our point. You got to stop focusing so much on what is that it dominates your vibrational patterns. And you have to start focusing upon who you really are and how you want to feel. So when you think about the things you want, and there are a lot of them, and it's wonderful. When you think about the things that you want, and you think about why you want those things that you want, and it brings you to that vibrational reason, most of which is easily recognizable by you, and easy to find by you, and easy to discover all around you already. Because the feeling of money is not only available to you in money itself. Because you just said, it feels like fun, it feels like freedom, it feels like... And there is so much of your world that does not require money in order to feel those things, you see. So if you look around as the selective sifter that we know a deliberate creator like you can be, and you tune your frequency to the feeling of, so it would be such a good thing if you could just make your list of things that you want, and take each item one by one and stop and analyze for yourself, what is the feeling of that? When I have that, when I live that, when I am that, when that is my experience, when that's who I am, when that's where I am, when that's who I'm with, when that's what I'm living, what does that feel like? What does it feel like? Not what does it look like, what does it feel like? What does the vibration of security feel like? What does the feeling of homecoming feel like? What does the feeling of empowerment feel like? What does it feel like? And as you pose those questions to yourself, as you move through your days, and you're feeling a lot of those things all day, every day, as you come across, we started to say stumble across because you may not be doing it exactly on purpose, but as you come across that feeling, and you come across that feeling after you have acknowledged that you want to find that feeling, it will stand out in a more vivid way, and you can say, yes, that's it. And then as you stay there and revel in the emotion of that for a moment, you practice the frequency of it longer, and that really is all that deliberate creation is. It's choosing the feelings, practicing the frequency until choosing those feelings comes easily. And you know why choosing those feelings come easily? Because law of attraction says, ooh, you feel like that, here's a little more. Law of attraction doesn't behave like you want your mother to. Oh, you feel bad here, this will make you feel better. Law of attraction says, oh, that makes you feel bad, here's some more. You say, well, then law of attraction may not be my friend. We say your best friend, because law of attraction is bringing you how you're feeling, showing it to you so you can make choices. This sucks. This feels awful. How can I feel differently than this? And that's what we're going to be talking about here today. How can you gain control of the way you feel in this situation and this one and this one and this one? We'll give you a little hint. It's about self-soothing. It's about being kinder to yourself. Because if you would see yourself like that 2 or 3 or 4-year-old that you're wanting to control, because clearly they're out of control, they're so happy all the time, and irresponsible, and they throw fits when they don't feel good. So if you could treat yourself like that one, treat yourself like that, what would you do? You see a little one trying to learn how to walk, not very good at it, unstable, over he goes. Get up, you little dummy. Don't you see the rest of us walking upright? You're not a dog, you're not a cat. Get up, you little dummy. You don't do that. Why not? Why not? Because first of all, you understand that you are where you are, and next of all, you understand that with focus, there is learning, and with trying, there is change in behavior. And so it might be helpful if you would think about those that you feel most like encouraging. Who are they? Who do you feel most like encouraging? Is it those new ones that haven't yet shown their failure or their stupidity? In other words, this person deserves my help because this person is new to all of this? Or do you want to uplift everyone? Are you a soother to most? If you saw someone in the street bleeding, we believe you would help them. But when you see someone negatively expressing, you sort of want to scold them into better behavior. And that's sort of what you do to yourself. You sometimes try to scold yourself into better vibration. And we thought it would be a really good thing to start this new year out when you're thinking more about who you are and where you're going and what you want. If you could just take this one piece from this gathering, that you want to soothe yourself into alignment by pointing out to yourself how well you are doing, how much is going well. And it is our promise to you that you can get hold of little pieces of that all through the day. And law of attraction will say, oh, here's more. Here's a little more of that. When you soothe yourself and accomplish the soothing, law of attraction will say, here's more of that. The universe agrees with you there and there and there and there and there. Until it won't be long, 30 days is certainly enough, that you'll be walking around feeling like the most blessed being, because everywhere you turn, someone, something, some circumstance or event or some other person, some coincidence, some coming together, some collective co-creation will occur. And you will be the center of it, the object of it, the recipient of something that feels really good to you. And in the beginning, it might just be an uplifted heart. It might be a new idea that just feels really good. It might be a comment from someone unexpected. It might be a smile from a stranger across the way. It might be a telephone call. It might be a winning lottery number. It depends upon what you want and where you are. But it is our promise to you that if you will begin to tend to the frequency of that which is you, since you equal your point of attraction, and you will be aware, I felt this way and this came back. I felt this way and this came back. I felt this way and this came back. Before you know it, you will be one who, whether you deliberately and often feel on purpose, you will know for sure that how you feel is your indicator of what's coming next.
I'm curious about the law of attraction and how that interrelates with other laws like the law of gravity. And does one supersede the other? And
Law of attraction trumps everything.
Okay. Now,
but they are very similar in that you don't have to teach either one of them with words. Life experience will give it to you.
Yes. Yes, it does.
You don't see any of those little kids in school. We're going to learn about gravity today. Otherwise, everything will fly out of our hands and off into space if we don't know about it. And I say, no, it won't. Gravity will respond to you just like it does. It will respond to those who don't understand it just like it responds to those who do understand it. It is a law that affects everything in your environment. And law of attraction is such a law.
Have we created the law of gravity through our own manifestation?
Yes, at some level of creation, it was part of the intention. Everything that is has been created.
So law of attraction is the singular law.
Law of attraction is the basis of everything that we know. Law of attraction is the consistent factor in all things physical and non-physical. It is the basis of all universes. It is the basis of all creation. It is the basis of that which man calls God. It is the basis of that which is man. It's the basis of everything that is molecular. It is the basis of everything that is electrical. It is the basis of everything that is biological. It's the basis of all things. Everything is vibrational. And if scientists and doctors and researchers of all manner would learn about law of attraction and then let it be the basis of every question they ask, everything would go a lot easier.
Now, the last question is law of attraction manifested from my personal experience, or is everybody else experiencing this?
Well, law of attraction is factoring in all vibrations, and since you are not the only one offering a vibration, then it is affected by, it is responding to all vibrations. Mm-hmm. So let's say you are offering some specific dominant vibrations, as are other people with whom you're sharing your space. Law of attraction will be the reason that you rendezvous. Law of attraction is the reason that, on a very practical sense, law of attraction is the reason that you choose to stop at this gas station rather than that one, to exit this exit instead of another, to make this phone call at this particular time rather than that one. Law of attraction is at the basis of everything that you live. And when you tune in to your source energy so that your impulses are, you've brought us to a very important place. So let's back up just a little bit and sort this out. This is something we've not talked about in this way before. You're right, it is something we have long wanted to say. So law of attraction says whatever I'm offering vibrationally is going to come back to me. So if I'm feeling like a victim, I'm going to attract things that represent that. If I'm feeling like a lover, I'm a beautiful, sensuous lover, I'm going to attract things that represent that. If I'm feeling like a martyr, I'm going to attract things that represent that. If I'm feeling brilliant, I'm going to attract conversations that represent that. If I'm feeling artistically creative, I'm going to attract things. If I'm feeling appreciative of delectable feasts, I'm going to attract things that represent that. So whatever it is I'm offering vibrationally, wanted or not wanted, law of attraction is going to unerringly and unbiasedly and without judgment respond to, which means law of attraction is the underlying orchestrator of events and conversations and situations and circumstances. So what I'm offering vibrationally is everything, and my awareness of what I'm offering vibrationally is important if I care about what I create and if I care about how I feel moment by moment. So since the potential of creating all manner of things is there, wanted and unwanted, then how do I play this game of creation in an environment where all things are possible? All things are possible, wanted and unwanted. How do I know which way to go? In an environment that's not just the human physical environment, every thought that has ever been thought, I still have access to. So how do I navigate this sea of vibration? And we say, the source energy part of you, that was you before you were you, and who has seen everything that you've lived and become everything that you're wanting to become, now stands as this beacon that is calling you, calling you, calling you. So the way you navigate yourself in this sea that is managed by law of attraction is by being aware of the vibration, by being aware of how you feel, and by caring enough about feeling good that you guide yourself incrementally toward the best feeling thought you can find from wherever you are. So you use your guiding light, so to speak, as your beacon to know how to navigate this sea of attraction. How's that?
That's great. That's great.
There's more in there.
There's more. If I'm following my feelings, my emotions about this, I asked you this once before, and you said that there are no wrong turns. I just follow the emotion. And
there are no wrong turns because you never get it done.
Right.
In other words, you can't get it done and you can't get it wrong, and the reason you can't get it wrong is because it isn't done. So even though it might feel wrong now, it isn't done, so it's not really ultimately wrong, because you can still move toward what you're wanting because it's never done.
It's not a straight line.
No matter where you stand. Yeah. And we're really speaking to you in terms, it's only from your human physical standpoint that you ever talk about wrongdoing, because the source energy part of you is so clear about the infinite eternalness of your being. In other words, think about it. So you could get off track in the sense that you focus on things you don't want and make yourself miserable for a while. That's as off track as you can get. But when you croak, you go right back into alignment, and then you reap the benefit of everything that you've lived. You think those people that you know that have made their transition into non-physical, who don't seem readily available to you, it's because they are joyously reaping the benefit of everything that life has caused them to create. In other words, everything that life caused them to want is in vibrational escrow. And there's a very good time spent when somebody reemerges into non-physical, just now living through all of that stuff that they've been asking for. It's sort of like everything was piled up outside your door, and then somebody opened the door. Quite a party happening.
Well, I think I'm getting it now. I think you might agree that if I have a feeling and I'm following that feeling, as long as the feeling's making me turn downstream and making me feel good, then go with that feeling. But if the feeling is making me go upstream and seems like work or seems like pain or something.
Let us put it even in a clearer terms. There are downstream feelings and upstream feelings.
Okay.
The thought is what is causing the turn. The feeling is just the indication of which way you've turned. The thought is the choice. The feeling is the explanation of what choice you've made. Jerry and Esther were playing a game with Kate. She's 4. And they were hiding things in the hotel room, a little green car. They would take turns hiding it. And then the one who was looking for it, of course, would hide their eyes. And then they would go looking for it. And they would say, "You're getting cold. You're getting colder and colder. Oh, now you're getting warmer, warmer, warmer." And just by listening to the colder, warmer, colder, warmer, anyone who was looking could go right to it. It was really a fun game. And colder, 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 upstream, colder, 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 warmer, 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 hot, 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 hot. In other words, you can tell by the way you feel whether you're moving toward what you're asking for or away from what you're asking for. And your guidance is always calling you toward what you do want, but you get this relationship signal about whether you're moving toward or away from what you want. In other words, one of the things that we really like best about this analogy of the stream and the river rafting and all of that. No analogies are perfect because sometimes they have other components that take you off. But this analogy is so close to perfect that we are excited to offer it every time. We want you to recognize that there is only a stream of well-being. There's not a fork in the road where you could end up in the wrong current and go to hell. And when you get it, that it's that simple, that I can complain or I can appreciate. I can find fault or I can look for positive aspects. I can worry about something or I can look forward to something. I can remember things that irritated me or I can remember things that pleased me. I can look for your flaws or I can look for your positive aspects. And in every moment in time, I've got an upstream or a downstream choice. And when you put your life into that context and you deliberately try to point downstream, or at least, friends, you don't even have to try to point downstream. You just have to hold your tongue about the upstream stuff. You just have to do like Esther said, just stop in the middle of a sentence. And then relax. And then realize that even though you want to say it, you haven't said it. And you don't have to say it. And there might even be a different way of saying it. Let's see. Could I put it differently? Do I need to talk about this? Is it upstream or downstream? It's upstream. Do I want to go upstream? Not really. I'd rather go downstream. There are so many wonderful things downstream. Like what? Like everything in the world that I want. Yes. And it only takes about 10 or 15 seconds, and you have ceased the moving upstream, and now that topic is forever changed within you because of the choice you made. But if you're not making the choice, then your future is full of the same stuff you've got in your now, which you might like and you might not like.
Is there a difference in the feeling of paddling upstream versus paddling downstream?
Yes, paddling downstream feels like passion. Paddling upstream feels like struggle.
Okay.
Oh, we're not saying that once you get pointed and once the stream you'll start acting like that guy. You'll be turning cartwheels all over the place. In other words, that's paddling downstream. Romping, singing. In other words, the better it gets, the better it gets. You get so full of yourself. Sometimes Jerry and Esther will walk into an environment and it is as if everybody in the place knows who they are and knows that their life is supposed to be good and just knocks themselves out doing it for them, even though they have no idea who they are. It's just that the place has been so prepared vibrationally before they got there. It's like sending the vibrational entourage. You say.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.